Good morning. My name's Eric Gunderson, and I'm a landscape nurseryman in Chesapeake, Virginia. I've been in business quite a number of years in the retail business at one time, and we're landscape contractors. We sell native plants. Now we used to do what was popular back in the 80s and selling plants that weren't native to the U.S., and now that's an important thing, and we figured out that the interaction of native plants and the animals and the importance of why they're here. I was asked to talk with you this morning about propagation and growing of the native plants and why that's important. We started propagating and growing native plants because when we first found out about why it was important to landscape with native plants, that we couldn't find them in the growing nurseries that were growing at the time. So we started harvesting seeds and nuts and berries to do the plants ourselves. We have a propagation greenhouse that we have been using for 4 or 5 years, but we've also tried to do some things before then without using a greenhouse with little success. Each of the native plants offers its own value for being in existence. We need to plant, and the plants need to interact with the natural environment and not just be statues in the landscape as non-native plants are. We grow native plants for their beauty, for food and shelter, and for humans and wildlife, and for the privacy around our homes. We try to propagate with natives as many different species as we can find. We want to do that to set an example that the native plants are diverse, and there's a lot of options for landscaping with native plants, as opposed to what the common misconception is there's not that many available, or that you can use them for all different types of applications. When we propagate our plants, we want to do seed harvesting and not from cuttings or divisions of mother plants. Asexual reproduction is not healthy for the species. Our focus is on genetic diversity and propagating the native plants. This effort's very important for the survival of native plants going forward in time. Cultivars of native plants might as well be similar to out-of-town plants, is that you're reproducing the same plant, and that doesn't help the species going forward in time. Plant species need diversity for genes to overcome disease and climate change. We harvest seeds in different areas of the same species, and in different areas for genetic diversity. The seed harvesting of the different plants takes place over the whole course of the year. We start sometimes in late spring for some plants. They don't all mature at the same time, and some plants we have to go back several times to make sure that we can get that the seeds are mature. If you get them too soon, they're not going to do their thing. If in a case like acorns, if they drop from the tree and they hang out, they'll have nematodes or they won't be viable. So you have to get them when they're mature. So we harvest when we can. The seed harvesting of different plants, like I said, takes place over a long period of time, and that's one of the funnest things that we do. All the native plants require specific pre-treatment for successful germination of the seed. The length of time under cold dormancy is important, and how the seed is kept in its container affects the success of its seed germination. Grass seeds, wildflower seeds, they like to be dry and in cold dormancy, probably beer temperature, refrigerator temperature, for a period of time. Other plants like drupe fruits of Nyssa sylvatica, the black gum or Persea palustris, swamp bay, they like it cold, but their seeds need to be totally submerged in water for them to have opportunity to germinate when the time is right. Species that we are growing at the nursery right now, and some new ones that we're trying: Beetleweed Galax urceolata, Toothache Tree Zanthoxy, clava-herculis, Yucca filamentosa, beargrass, Goodyera pubescens, Rattlesnake Plantain, Chamaecyparis thyoides, Atlantic white cedars, Juncus canadensis, Canada rush, Morus, rubra, red mulberry trees. But 10 or 12 years trying to get local native live oaks to germinate, and couldn't break the code. And now I understand what they need. So I finally have 100% germination rate with live oak seeds. That's the only one I won't divulge my trade secret on, but I will do that on some others. Nyssa sylvatica, water tupelo, Quercus lyrata, they grow near the water, and their seeds, when they drop, they're in water, so they want to be in 100% water when they're in cold dormancy in the fridge. I harvested and kept in a refrigerator over 5 years, Nyssa aquatica, and brought it out to germinate, and I had 100% germination on that. So the seed germination of native plants is not fickle. It's my not understanding of what to do, but that's another fun jobs that we have at the nursery, is figuring out how to get these beautiful local native plants to germinate and enjoy. So thank you very much.